My project is entitled Dancing in the Focus. For my project, I chose something that was close to my heart, which is dancing. I've been dancing for 15 or 16 years from the time I was 2 or 3 years old, and it's always been a passion of mine. I use dance as a way to express myself when I can't quite find the words that I want to say, and I've always been interested in different types of dancing, but I feel like not enough people are interested in it, and not enough people use it as a way to express what they're feeling and thinking. So I chose to take what I've known and look at it from a different perspective. I interned with Miss Pamela Bushwood, who's the owner of Bushwood School of Dance, which is the studio that I've danced at since I was a child. And for my internship, I wanted to look at it from a different perspective. So as opposed to looking at it from a student's point of view, I chose to look at it from the teacher and owner operator side of it. With Miss Bushwood, I started to work on lesson plans from teaching 2-year-olds to 14-year-olds, and I would help write lesson plans, and I would also take phone calls for her or speak to the parents if they had questions, as well as if she had to step out of class, I had to jump in and pick up where she left off, which isn't always easy, especially when you're working with younger children. As far as it goes, I would help out with classes frequently. I would help 3 hours a week. And then I would also help out last year with recitals and setting up their registration and making sure like payroll was done. And especially if we had parents that would have questions about whether it was time for their student to move up to a new level, Ms. Pam would frequently send the parents to me, and I'd have to either decide whether or not it was time for them to move up or if they had another year, which was difficult sometimes because parents didn't always agree that their child was ready or wasn't ready. So we would have to sit down with them and look at, this is the skill set that they're at, and that's not quite ready for the next class. I use this in my research to focus on autism, and autism is an autism spectrum disorder. Is a group of multi-system neurodevelopmental disorders that can cause significant social, communication, and behavioral challenges. And within that, in the United States, 1 in 88 kids is diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder. Autism being the worst, but also including Asperger's syndrome, childhood disintegrative disorder, and pervasive developmental disorders. And like I said, autism is the most severe form. But within autism, there's a broad spectrum of either mild, kind of immediate, moderate, and then severe. And you don't always see this within everybody. Many students are not diagnosed with autism, and they kind of have little tics such as, like playing with their hands or speaking at times that they're not necessarily supposed to, or not even picking up on social cues. So a lot of this stuff is like mild forms of autism, and then sometimes you see the more severe ones, which include your behavioral problems where kids are aggressive or constantly nervous. When you have autism, the body experiences physiological, cognitive, and emotional changes. Physiological including heart rate, sweaty hands, muscle tension, and cognitive including memory, trouble, decision making, and physiological and emotional including aggression, frustration, and confusion. Within my research, I use this to look at the physical activity aspect. Oftentimes, these special education children aren't always given the physical activity portion of school, and that doesn't help them because they have to have that to get out their energy so that they can focus on their schoolwork, because it often, like the lack of activity affects them severely because they can't focus on their schoolwork and they have hard times paying attention or sitting still, and they often get off topic. As far as that goes, dancing specifically 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 3 days a week helps them tremendously. They can get that energy out, and then they can focus on their classwork, and they don't interrupt and get off task as easily. For my community service project, I worked with Miss Barney, who is a special education teacher here at Louisa County, and I worked with her 4th period class to implement dancing as a whole to their class. And within that, Miss Barney was a tremendous help because before I went in, I had no idea what to expect working with these students. Working with special education children was something that I never had the opportunity to do before, and she really gave me a heads up. Like, she sat down with me before I began and told me what to expect and told me ways that she helped keep her class on task and how she redirected them and basically what worked best with her class. And as I continued working with them, I got to know these students one-on-one, and they affected me tremendously. And so one of our students, Carrie, is going to help me with a little demonstration today. She has, since the last 3 months when I started working with them, she has improved tremendously, and she is a very good dancer that I'm proud to say that I've helped teach. So Carrie, do you want to come up and help me really quick? So a couple of the things that we focused on is the differences between turns and spins, which is really kind of mixed up often. Carrie, do you want to tell us what a spin is?
1 foot.
So a spin is just turning around on 1 foot. So would you like to come over here and demonstrate for everybody? What do you want to do? Okay, so if y'all wouldn't mind, would you stand up and like to try it with Carrie? Alright, so that's a spin.
Yeah.
So the spin is on 1 foot. It doesn't matter which way you go. It doesn't matter which way you go. So now that you've done that, Carrie, do you want to let everyone what a turn is? So would you like to demonstrate a turn for us? Good job. So would everybody like to try a turn now?
That way.
Okay. At this point, you can all Okay, so can someone from the audience tell me the difference between the turn and the spin now?
A spin is with 1 foot.
Okay, so as you see, they had to not only learn the dance moves, but they had to learn the technical terms and the differences between a lot of the stuff. And also, I wanted to incorporate music as something to focus on and help them in my project. So I would have them listen to songs and then find the beats, because that is one of the most important things in dancing. You have to be able to time the music, time the moves, not to the words of the song, but the beat. So you have to be able to count that and hear that. So within that, Carrie, would you like to come? So she's just going to clap along to the beat so you can hear. Okay. And then within that, they learn the difference between just a normal beat and then double time, which is
Fast.
so it's like double the speed of it. So if y'all like, would y'all like to clap along with us?
Sure.
So this is single. And double time would be twice as fast. So. So would everybody like to carry around? So working with these students, has impacted me tremendously. As Alvin Ailey said, dance is for everybody. I believe that dance came from the people, and that should always be delivered to the people. Like I said, dance has been there for me all of my life. And when I'm frustrated, dancing is something that I do to get rid of that, or stress from schoolwork and everything. It's helped me to get rid of that. And throughout my time in governor school up until this point, for me, all the hard work has always been to, get that governor's seal on my diploma and say, that's my accomplishment. But after working with these kids, it's become so much more to me, because at this point, whether or not I get the seal, I've grown as a person. I know people say that these kids have learned a lot from me, but as a person, I've learned a lot from them, because I've seen their frustration at not being able to communicate. And I've never had a problem with that. I've always been able to express my feelings, and seeing these kids not have that, and then being able to use dance to get out their frustration, their energy. I've seen improvement in their work myself just from being in their classroom. And I've had their teachers come up to me and say that they seeing their improvements without even knowing that I was working with the kids. So knowing and seeing them so excited, it's really made a big impact on me. As far as my legacy goes, I'm working with Miss Thorpe, who is the head of the physical education program here at Louisa County High School. And the plan is to implement a time during hopefully zero block, 2 to 3 days a week, where the special education students can go in and work with some of our general population students or the advanced PE students. That way they can increase their social interaction within our school because they typically stay in one trailer. And working with these students would give them a chance to develop bonds with others that they don't see on a day-by-day basis. Any questions?
So for the when you interacted, I guess when you were in the classroom, was it routines or just teaching them just basic movements?
It depended on the day. A lot of times I would go into zero block and I would teach them like a dance history lesson and stuff like where it came from and about different types of dancing. And then I'd go back in during fourth period and I would teach them moves, or I would teach them about like music and occasionally like a combination or two.
Two things. One, did you give any kind of formal, informal survey to the kids on their preferences or
Yeah, at
how
the
they liked it?
beginning, I asked them, what they thought dance was and how they felt about it, and they were all excited but hesitant at the same time. And then towards the end, they've all been so excited about it, and they'll come up to me during class changes and be like, "Are you coming in today? Like, what do we get to do?"
You could just observe.
And I brought them a book, and and it's pretty much every different type of dance you could ever think of, and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Oh, this is my favorite," and "Oh, I learned this and this and this," and they'll be like, "Did you know that?" And I'm like, "No, it's really great that you know that, and you can tell me about it."
And the other thing, from your research, what things did you learn in the information and research on autism and physical movement that you saw or didn't see in your class?
All of the articles that I've read has supported the idea that physical therapy has helped improve cognitive skills and social interaction within these students. And it's every study that I've seen has supported that it lowers their attention span, and it also
Part of like you said, for you feel like dance was a way for you to express yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I would come in and they would, when they knew I was coming in, they would have like music on sometimes, and I know that a lot of the times they wanted to do specific dances that they had seen at school dances like YMCA and cha-cha slide and stuff like that, and they would always be like, "Oh, can we do this and can we do that?" So it's definitely given them an opportunity to kind of come up with new ideas and express themselves. Any other questions?